and 2 testes. It's like, whoa! It's like almost like getting a BOGO, right? It's like,
I'm sorry.
Buy one, get one free.
yeah, buy one get one. So one thing, and then you get already both, right? So the example they gave you guys are examples include. So examples include, I guess they say cystic fibrosis, right? If you're little c, you got more than one problem. You got many problems, okay? So it's just like, you could be good if you will go one way or bad in many ways, right? So one gene gave you a bunch of good stuff or a bunch of bad stuff because it takes care of more than one thing, okay? If it was a Mendelian example, for instance, let's say big A was responsible for height, flower color, and pea color, right? So it'd be, you either be tall, purple, and yellow, or short, white, and green. Okay, that would be bad, okay? So, next. Okay, so pleiotropy is the opposite of the next two. So there are 2 situations where there are 2 or more genes, so 2 or more genes that contribute to just one character. Okay, 2 more, and what are those 2 types of things where 2 or more genes are responsible for only one character or phenotype? Huh? Epistasis.
Oh, that was a bad one.
It's all right. I've noticed a lot of the words in bio is either focused on the piss or the ass. So it's like one of those pisses. Okay? All right, epistasis. Okay, what is epistasis, Batty? How did you understand it?
It's a gene at one locus. It changes the phenotype of a gene on another locus.
Okay, can you explain that to me, showing your understanding by just, yeah.
So there's
Okay, stop using genes and stuff. We don't even do genes.
Hey, I thought I was good at pajamas.
Okay, pajamas.
there's a certain coding in one section of like at the locus, and it changes.
No. Okay, here's my analogy. Okay, so this is what I kind of want. Okay, so how many of you guys know, like, okay, so in your house there's actually a power main. That's where PG&E connects to your house, right? And there's actually a big old lever that you can turn off the entire electricity. And that's the one you want to get to if you want to rob somebody, right? You don't want to go off and cut out little switches in the house. No. Just wipe out all the power, right? Okay, so that determines if that a room has power, right? But then let's see that light. How many switches then are responsible for turning on and off that light? Really, there's 2. But one, sometimes there's 3, but one is overpowering the effect of the second one, right? Right? So, for instance, if you turn off the main, it doesn't matter if the inside switch is on or off. If the main power is on, then this will come into play. Okay? So, the example here, let's say big A determines if there is color. Okay, if there's color in a mouse's fur. Okay, so there is color or not. So this will be albino. Okay, so now big B, if it is, then it will have black fur, and then little b, it will have brown fur. Okay, so which one? Okay, so this is the main one. That's the power main, and then this is the switch inside the house. So what is epi again? What's the root epi? Above. So yeah, over. One is kind of lording over the other. One is controlling the other, right? So this one is the one that's epi, right? Does that make sense? So for instance, so how okay, so what kind of mouse is that versus what kind of mouse is that? What color would each of those mice be? Yeah.
One's
This one would be what? Nope. Okay, so this one is a black mouse. But this one is a what?
Albino.
Yeah, an albino mouse. Why? Because the main switch was off already. So it doesn't matter what this is. It doesn't matter if the switch inside is on or off. This one, the switch is on, so this one now does matter. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so when you are given, this is an easy, what kind of problem would this be then? It'd be a dihybrid problem, right? It'd be a dihybrid problem. So if, for instance, both parents were like this, okay, both parents are like this, what is the probability of having a black furred offspring? Oh, it's doubly heterozygous. Come on, Tobis, do it in your head. What is the probability of having a black fur mouse off of that? Yeah, 9/16. How did he do it in his head? Okay, so again, it's the same thing. You guys, what I'm trying to tell you is it's the same thing over and over again. That's why you want to learn this. Okay, what did he do with the A's? He worked with the A's alone, right? The A's alone, it's a heterozygous. So you can look at it. What percentage of the A's will allow for color? 3/4, right? Big A, big A, big A, little A, big A, little A. Okay, so 3/4. And then what percentage of them, when you look at B, will allow for black fur? 3/4. And then you multiply those two together to get your 9/16. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's what I'm saying. It never changes from the dice. It never changes from the dice. Okay? You're still roll. Again, what is the last one? What is the last one? Okay, polygenic inheritance. Polygenic, what is poly? Many, right? So many genes, okay, many genes are going to do one characteristic. So polygenic inheritance is when multiple genes affect one characteristic, okay? So usually these characteristics are called quantitative characters, which means what? Which means characters with a continuum. And what is a continuum? Not a John Mayer album. What is a continuum? No, huh? Exactly. Okay. So basically, anything you can do with a bell curve, you guys, right? Because okay. For instance, give me some examples of things that skin color, from very light to little darker to very dark, or SAT score. Okay. What else? Height could be my height to very short. Okay. No. Okay. Because you guys. Okay. Some people. Okay. Quantitative means you can count, but counting in a continuum. For instance, a lot of the things that you can buy for yourself, in terms of clothing, the thing that it's for is like your pant length, right? There's a huge spectrum of that, or feet size. That's right? Because you can be whatever is a small foot size for an adult. I don't know, but then you can grow. So now the shoe size is not the exact same thing, right? Because you buy, let's say I buy size 7.5. But really my shoe size, if I was like fitted, tailored, would be like the size 7.1. But 7 is too small, 7.5 is actually too big. But that's the continuum we're talking about, right? There's just, so when you graph them, usually why do you get a bell curve? Because you have your extremes and then your majorities, right? So if this was SAT scores, where would this be? 20? No, this is, no, SATs, this is what? You don't know what your SAT scores are out of? 27.
2,400.
Oh, 2,400. Oh, no. At this end, okay, at this end is 24. What is this end? Do you guys know?
200.
Yeah, I think if you put in your name, you get an automatic 200 points, I think.
What?
Even if it's wrong.
Really?
Even if you spelled your name wrong, you would get your 200 points. It just won't go to you. It'll be into somebody else's account.
I'm in shock.
Yeah, now you guys are questioning your 200 points. Hey, you guys, that's beginning to look pretty good, huh? And Miss Listen is going to be so proud. Okay.
Is she Jewish?
Okay, you guys. Now comes the age-old question. What is more important? Nature? And what is nature? That is your genotype versus nurture, which is your environment, okay? Versus the environment and their effects on your phenotype. Both of them affect the phenotype, right? Both of them affect the phenotype. Now, some phenotypes are going to be affected more than others. For instance, certain phenotypes, the environment has very little effect on. No matter what kind of environment you're in, if your genotype says you have 2 hands, you're going to have 2 hands. The quality of those hands might be affected by the environment, but the number of it, not really. Okay? Now, what kind of characters are really affected by
Hair.
Okay, certain ones are okay, but somebody said skin. What kind of a character is skin color again? We just said. Okay, very good. So characters that are determined by polygenic inheritance. Hi. Ooh, that's kind of cute. All right, are most have the largest. What do they call the largest range? What do they call? Look, norm of reaction. Okay, norm of reaction. So they have the largest one. For example, those of you guys who don't know, I'm not kidding when I'm saying I'm 6'2", but I'm really talking about my genotype. My environment, being born in a third world country, you know, by the time I was 5, I had to walk 5 miles both ways were uphill to get water for the family, and I had to carry it on my shoulder, across my shoulder, 5-gallon buckets on each side, right? So I mean that's. And then when I get home, because of the rationing post-war, you can't eat whatever you want. We have to cut those 2 rice kernels. Like, how many of you guys remember the old Jack and the Beanstalk, Mickey Mouse, Jack and the Beanstalk little animation? Right? Do you remember like Goofy, Mickey, and Donald were all sharing that one bean and they would cut it into like this, like transparent sheets? That's pretty much what I had to do with my rice, right? And therefore, so my environment did not allow me to fulfill my 6'2", and that's therefore why I'm really only 6'1", and 6'1.5", but I rounded up to 6'2". Okay, so why is that particular trait? And you guys, it is actually true. Believe it or not. All my cousins, their parents aren't much taller than my parents, but it's really weird. My next shortest cousin in the States is like 5'10". It's really weird. So I took this picture with them at my wedding. I'm like, wow, I'm a lot shorter than them. And I definitely guarantee you it's.
Photo. It's the camera itself. That's the reason why you look shorter.
I already showed you this picture with me and my basketball buddies, right? That's how that picture looked with my cousins too. It was definitely the angle, because I mean, it was like they're shooting me afar. I don't know. It was just really weird. All right. Oh yeah, I was standing way back because I mean the guys, they were standing way in the front, and they were kind of larger guys, so they crowded me out in the way back. So that's why I looked like that. All right. You guys, we've done some problems already. Are there any questions on how to do a particular type of problem? Or the first problem set, what type of problems were